guys, so I'm back with another video, and today's video isn't going to be very bookish related, as you can probably tell from the title. Today's video is kind of going to be a bit more serious than it usually is, and it's going to be more of a testimonial type video. I was thinking about sharing this for the past couple weeks, and I finally decided that I would share it with you guys because maybe it might help some of you, maybe it might help somebody else. Either way, there's a chance of at least one person being helped from me telling my story. As you can tell from the title, this is going to be about my struggle with depression and self-harm and anxiety. And now these things are more common now than it was back then when our parents were little kids or teenagers or young adults. And so a lot more people need help with it. So I am going to tell you my story and my struggle and my overcoming of it, and then I am going to give you some little words of wisdom type things. So to start it off, I am 19 years old and I have been struggling with depression and anxiety for 4 or 5 years. It started in 9th grade. For some reason, I don't remember what happened, but I just got really depressed and I was like, okay, this is normal. People can be sad. That's a normal thing. And then it started out where I started harming myself, but not severely. I would pick things up that were sharp enough to do damage and break skin, but not sharp enough to bring blood to the surface unless I really put a lot of pressure. And I thought, that's all I'm ever going to do. That's all I'm ever going to need to do to cope with things. This is my way of coping. So my 10th grade year came around and it was hard. It was one of the hardest years for me because I wasn't doing well academically. I was in tech school and a lot of people there were mean and I didn't like my teachers, and I was not doing well on that either. Now, I thought that I was grounded enough in my faith to not have any trouble with these types of things, but that was neither here nor there because I still struggle. And I was clean for that whole summer, I guess, and I ended up relapsing. Still nothing too serious, but enough to leave some marks. And I started dating this kid in my 10th grade year, and he helped me with things, but I still wasn't perfect. I ended up relapsing after 6 months, and it wasn't good. My 11th grade year came around and I still wasn't doing too well. I was better a lot mentally with everything, and I seemed stronger, and I was doing better academically with some classes. Other classes I wasn't. I was still stressed and I still thought of harming myself, and there were still days when I didn't want to get out of bed or days I was too scared to go to school because of what might happen. And in the back of my mind there was still that thought of, there's sharp things around you, you can just pick it up and it'll be fine. Now, this is the shortened version of my story. I could have gone into more depth with saying it, but I'm just gonna keep this short. I was clean for a while, and then the summer before my senior year, I believe it was, my stepbrother ended up taking his own life, and I was supposed to sleep over at my then boyfriend's house that day, and I was like, am I still allowed to sleep over? My mom was like, no, I need to talk to you. And I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, what's wrong? Are you okay? I thought something was wrong with her. No. She was like, when you get home from work, I want you to come right home. I need to talk to you. And I was like, okay. So my then boyfriend, I had him with me, and he was there as my moral support. He told me I was going to need moral support because my mom told him before she told me. So I had him there, and she was like, listen, Brittany, Corey hung himself this morning. And I sat there and I was like, what? Because I didn't really think anything of it. I never saw him struggling with life. He always seemed to be happy and everything like that. And my mom was like, yeah, his grandparents found him hanging from the tree. And I was like, oh. And emotionally, I was wrecked. I wasn't close to him, but still, I knew there was something I could have done to have helped him. And for the next couple weeks, I sat there and I blamed myself for everything. And I broke up with the boyfriend I was dating then and I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna like do this. Like, I was clean for a while, and then I started dating this other kid, and he went on our senior trip. I didn't go, and I ended up relapsing, but this time it was with a razor, and I knew that this was the make it or break it situation, and if I kept going, there was going to be no stopping me. I ended up relapsing really badly to the point where I had cuts all down my arms and all over my legs and on my stomach. I didn't know what to do at that point. I was struggling mentally, and I told my mom. I had never told my mom, and so she took me to the doctor and they got me on antidepressants. Those messed up my body so much, and I took myself off of them. Did well after the major relapsing, but I ended up relapsing again in the summertime, and that one was even worse. I had hid everything away from me that I could, and I threw everything out that would be a trigger for me, until the one day when I kind of just gave up and I went downstairs and I grabbed one of the razors from down there, and I ended up relapsing even more. I was not where I wanted to be mentally, and I now have scars to prove that I have struggled. I am back on antidepressants, mostly because of my anxiety. My first semester at college was just fine. I got a 3.6 GPA, I did soccer, I was happy. My second semester, my roommate wasn't in the room for 2 weeks because of prior things that had happened, and my grades dropped, my chapel attendance dropped, my class attendance dropped, and I was sick a lot. I lost a lot of weight. So my mom took me to the doctors and got me back on antidepressants and anxiety medicine. Those really helped. So why am I telling you this? Because I am now almost a year clean, and while I have still thought about it, while I've still thought about taking my own life, I know that that's not the path that I should be on. Yes, I have bad mental health days. I still struggle with having bad thoughts, but I am definitely a lot better now. And I want you guys to know that it's never too late to try and save yourself. And what I mean by that is, you might be thinking that the only thing you can do is end your own life, or the only thing you can do is mutilate your body by cutting it, burning it, whatever. That is not the case. I am proof that things do get better. Yeah, you're still gonna struggle and it's still going to suck hardcore, because I know life isn't easy. Life can be very hard and very stressful, but there are people who are there to help you, and there is help out there. I want everyone who watches this to know that I am here for you, whether I don't know you personally or if I do know you personally, great. But I will love on you. I will stay up with you. I will talk with you to the late hours of the night if I have to. If you're struggling, I will be here for you, because I know what it's like to have this feeling of not having anybody to talk to. I know what it's like to struggle with anxiety and depression and self-harm and suicidal thoughts. I know. And I might not know your full struggle, but I at least know some of the struggle. And so I am asking, if any of you guys watch this, the one thing I would like you to take out of this is that there's always somebody there to help you, and it always gets better no matter what you think. Everybody says it gets better in the end, and most of the time people say that, and it's people who haven't gone through things that you've gone through. But coming from me, I have gone through these things. I have lived a broken life, and I still live a broken life some days. But I want you to know that it does get better, and I am living proof that it gets better. And so, like I said, if any of you guys are struggling or need somebody to talk to or anything, feel free to just hit me up, because I would love to sit and talk with you guys. I would love to help you. I don't want you to struggle like I struggled. Anything, if you take out of this video, it's that there's always going to be somebody there for you, and even if it's just one person, that's one person more than zero, and that it does get better. So that is my story. It's a bit fragmented and broken and gory and not beautiful, but it was my past and it is my present, but I am currently overcoming it and I am surviving and I am living my life to the fullest. If you have depression and if you're struggling, what I did is find an anchor. Find something that keeps you happy and cling on to that. What I did was soccer was something that helped me very much. I have my roommate who is my absolute best friend. I have my boyfriend who knows everything. And books are amazing. I can read and it will make me feel better. That's how I'm going to tie this into books. Find an anchor. Find something that'll help you stay grounded a bit, because that's what helped me. So if you guys want to know any more details, you can obviously hit me up, ask me questions, whatever you would like to do. I am an open book and I will answer anything you ask. I have all my links for like my social media, my email, everything like that down below if you would like to get in contact with me. But I promise next video will be less serious and more funny and bookish related. But until next time, bye.